askreddit. NSFW. If you had the ability to instantly give any person an orgasm, simply by pointing your hand at them like a finger gun and saying pew, how would you wield this power? I'd go to as many sporting events as possible, bet on the underdog and cause the other team to lose at every possible chance of scoring. I'd use it to condition people to be aroused by inanimate objects. Every time my enemy went to the fridge, pew pew. Guy cuts me off in traffic and now every time a car honks he gets turned on. Refrigerator? Org small cut off in traffic? Coming. Driving past a cemetery? Go for it. Hotel? Drive Argo. My new greeting is the double finger gun and a pew pew pew. Hey Dad. Long time no see. Clarification. Do I need to be physically near the person or are we working with Death Note rules, and I can do so just by seeing someone on TV? Because if it's the latter, the next Olympics is gonna be hilariously entertaining. Any sporting event really. Here's the wind up and the pitch. Okay, the pitcher seems to have launched it into the visiting dugout, but I think the batter may have swung anyway. We'll wait until the ump gets off the ground for a ruling. Yeah, if it's the latter, a certain president and Senate Majority Leader are going to find it impossible to get any work done. Bet on sporting events and then influence the outcome with org SMS at key times. Make a few red herring bets to keep people from realizing who's benefiting from these accidents. Interfere with some events that I don't bet on as well. Write a program to determine which ones to bet on, which ones to influence so that it's really impossible to tell that I'm the one responsible. Make around $10 million this way, then invest it into some fund that returns a dividend. Keep on betting and influencing for a while, then gradually stop each one separately. Live on the dividends. Disappear, and then really start influencing politics on a global scale, trying to do as much good as possible. The coronavirus pandemic would be the least of the world's concerns. And if I know Reddit, Danny DeVito would be flopping around like a fish out of water. Skeet 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 skeet. Rob a bank and immediately neutralize the guards and tellers. Pew pew pew. Be a vigilante and stop bank robbers with orgasm overload. When I'm in a heated confrontation with someone, I'll just use it and I'll instantly be at an advantage. Either that or I'll be forced to use it if I struggle in the bedroom. That took a depressing turn. Can you imagine the psychological damage this would cause? Why the F did I spontaneously orgasm while I was arguing with Steve from accounting? I hope this doesn't awaken something in me. I would say hands up or have an orgasm. They'd be confused and I'd repeat the line again, and if they didn't put their hands up I'd give them an org small. Anytime a cop pulls me over, of course. Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? No sir, not at all points. Well you ... I don't either. You can go now. Quickly runs to his car. The cop will shoot you for making a finger gun. You're doing it wrong. You yourself must become police so that you can resolve every call with the most de-escalating, non-lethal force ever imagined. Who's going to outrun you or keep fighting when they've just blown a load and their legs are jello? I would keep the power a secret until I saw my wife have an exceptionally hard day. I'd make her dinner, something new, and on her first bite pew pew. Then, after dinner I'd run her a bath and use those relaxing eye cover things that girls like, play some soft music, pew pew. Then I'd give her a massage. Feet first, pew pew. Then her shoulders, pew pew. Then after that offer her a glass of wine, and after we've inevitably drank half a bottle each, we'd move to the bedroom, and once she lays down I'd give her a double pew pew. At that point she'd be relaxed, exhausted, and pass out. Then I could finally make some progress in BioShock on the Switch. I'd probably make a YouTube video that's just a quick 15 seconds of me pointing right at the camera and letting out a rapid fire pew 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 pew, and then post the video Rickroll style so that anyone thinking they're going to open up a relevant link is treated to an wholly unexpected and more than likely inconvenient or small once that catches on. My work is done, although I'll still use my powers for good, and I'm going to enjoy seeing people on trains, in meetings, at events, and wherever on their phones and then suddenly sloshing their shorts because of my jizz roll video. As the years go by, the jizz roll will become more and more ubiquitous in society, and I'm sure many a folk will take the necessary precautions to splat-proof their nether garments with rubber undies or quick-release valves. I mean, surely it won't just be the boys constantly creaming their cargoes. Surely the ladies will be super soaking their sliz snugglers and need to wear some manner of sex-grade diaper, or possibly just go full skirt and let the drips drops where they may. Yes, the world at large will be hot and humid with the musk of human sexual excretion. Unlike the Rickroll, the jizz roll will turn into something you want to sit though each and every time, and the negative stigma of openly slinging goo or gushing drool will be gone. Thanks to me, the world will be in a near constant state of blissful relief and post-nut clarity. I suspect the world will make huge strides in technological advancements, as well as find unity among races and religions. Civil strife will be a thing of the past when you watch a jizz roll and let your stuff blast. Oh sure, even in my old age, people will want my celebrity for personal hire. Some may call them masochists, but I see these elites rich enough to afford an in-person pewing as just regular folk trying to ascend to a sexual nirvana. I'd pin them against the wall, or they would do so themselves, as their legs won't be doing them much good for much long, as I relentlessly pew them into oblivion. I'd pew them stupid if that's what they want. I'd pew them until their genitals are tender and throbbing from overuse, bright red like a piece of steel hammered hot by a master blacksmith. As they sit there, blathering incoherently, giggling and lost on a different plane of conscious existence, I'll shoot 'em one more pew for the road. If they die, they die. That's what I was hired for, and that's the power I've been blessed with. The crisp morning air is cut with distant sounds of traffic and the hustle of the city. Aboard the docked USS Arizona, the crowd is settling into their seats below flags, flowers, and the headshot of the leading presidential candidate. The camera tracks a seagull past the ship, through the docks, and to a high-rise building where I slip past security with a briefcase. When the elevator door closes, I shed my street clothes and reveal a skin-tight black catsuit. Opening a hatch atop the elevator, I toss up the briefcase and gracefully pull myself through it. As the elevator continues to climb, I put on sunglasses and a rip-off of the Mission Impossible theme swells. I sneak through elevator shafts and drop into a penthouse apartment in the top floor overlooking the bay. Thousands of yards below, a security detail prepares to bring out the president. As he slowly walks up the ramp to the podium, I take aim with my finger gun, pretending to turn dials and making clicking noises with my mouth. I imagine crosshairs being lowered right on his heart as the crowd erupts in cheers. As I take a deep breath, the camera flips to a frontal shot of the podium. As the president begins to speak, pew. When someone cuts me off in traffic, they're gonna jizz blood. Assuming all the orgasm haver needs to do is see and hear the finger guns, I'm getting on TV. Oh hey, local TV station, your viewers are about to have an awesome day. It starts small, but quickly spreads to regional and then national affiliates as the footage is linked to a spike in ER visits from elderly citizens with heart conditions. By the end of the week, my first finger bang is the highest viewed video on Pornhub. CNN runs a story warning of the danger of such power and questions whether I am a friend or foe. I spent some time on the run from the same scientists that saw TT for a time back in the 80s. I'm careful with my power now, but now and again I have to finger bang someone into submission just to escape. My exile from the real world is made worse when trolls across the internet use my first newscast as a new kind of rickroll. uBlock Origin creates a specialized widget that senses my thinner blasting so that offices and schools can return to some kind of normalcy. A public health crisis is declared. Desperate for peace, I finger blast myself. The euphoria lasts for 30 minutes. 69 years have passed since the coming. You lie in your deathbed, frail and weak. You've resisted the temptation for decades, knowing the world could not handle it again. Few alive remember it happening. The coming has fallen to nothing more than a shitty, recurring joke on the newest online inter-cybergalactic Univinet forum. You decide it's time. Whether the world had become ready in the last 7 decades or not, it was something you've always wanted, needed to do. With your last dying breath, you ask Nurse Bottom to record a video of you and put it online. Pew pew. I would go back to school to become a therapist specializing in sex and sexuality and use this power as part of the healing process for clients who have difficulty experiencing sexual pleasure due to sexual or psychological trauma, abuse, etc. I would try to use this power for good. Karen yelling at employee just trying to do their job. Boom. Org small sum a hat trying to mug someone on the street. Boom. Org small customer trying to argue with me that their product that's been out of warranty for 4 years should be replaced for free. Boom. Org small best case scenario. It embarrasses them and they leave their victim alone or the victim has time to get away. Shoot, maybe Karen, the mugger, customer will be nicer now that they finally achieved climax. Worst case scenario. You get to laugh at their O-face and make them feel like the garbage people that they are. If I whisper pew, is it less intense? If so, whenever I'm around my friend or people I want to be my friends, I would likely pew everyone. This would subtly influence their brain to associate me with good feelings and they would want to be around me more. I think eventually I wouldn't need to pew them and their brain would just do it, on its own. Either way I could train people the way I want with it. I feel like doing this without the person's consent is like sexual assault, so I would sell my services. Start cheap until I develop some serious name recognition, then target mostly wealthy women who have difficulty orgasming normally. I'd be like a drug with my rates increasing with demand since supply is limited. I'd be the chubby, older, terrible singer of the world's most popular band. Our shows would sell out worldwide. Our video Pew Pew, Now You Come would be the first YouTube music video in history to have 1 trillion views. Our band logo would be a box of tissue. I'd do the talk shows and they'd have their highest ratings ever. A video of my performance of Pew Pew, Now You Come would be played 5 times a day in Muslim countries. Islam would become a very different threat to Christianity. Bobblehead dolls of me pointing would say Pew Pew, Now You Come whenever their head bounced. Laws are passed preventing drivers from mounting these on their dashboards.